All the tools that you're going to need have been listed. 1 out of the 7 tools is already in your box, which is the zip ties. Take a moment to pause the screen and gather your tools. To get started, we're going to need to remove 4 screws. 2 of them which are in the center console. All you have to do is remove a cloth which is covering the 2 screws and you're all set. Once you remove those 2 screws, we're going to pop the center area where the e-brake is open. It should come right off. There's going to be another screw. All you have to do is remove it and it should allow you to push back the entire center console. Now that we have the center console up, where we're going to use the drill, the cups are in the way. So we're going to have to remove yet another screw, which is the 4th screw. And this should allow us to move the cups and wiggle them around so that we're able to use the screwdriver and drill our hole. You're going to want to drill the hole right in the dead center. Make sure there's nothing on the other side. You don't want to destroy any equipment. When you're drilling the hole, just know it needs to be big enough to fit the LED strips through the hole. This is how we're going to keep the wires hidden. All we're doing right now is making sure that we're able to put the LED strips through the hole that we just created with the drill. We're all set with the drill at this point. You're going to want to place one through the hole and then the other one's going to follow. The 2 that we're passing right now, these are going to be the ones for the driver's side. You may run into the issue of having to untangle some of the wires. I did skip out a lot of entanglements just to make the video as short as possible. Now that we have the strip lights out, we're going to place them under the seat and come in from the back seat so that we can start pulling. Once we're in the back seat and we have the LED strips, we're going to place them under the seat but above the rail under the seat. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This assures that whenever you're going to move your seat around, whether it's back or forth, it's not going to be an issue. We're going to go ahead and pull the LED strip lights from under the seat and begin to place them under the side covers of your interior. Notice how easily it is to place the wires right under the plastic. That plastic can come right off. It's very easy to pull it out. No hassle whatsoever. We're going to make our way all the way to under the steering wheel, and that's where we're going to place our LED light. Now that we have our first LED strip lights set up, we're going to go ahead and set up the next one. Do the same thing. We're going to pull our LEDs, both of them, and they're both going to go to the same side. In this case, we're going to go to the passenger side. Again, you are going to run into some issues where the wires may get tangled. We're going to go ahead and slip that into the passenger side and go to the back seat of the passenger side. Once we've pulled the LED strips from under, we're just going to do the exact same thing we did on the driver's side. Now, for whatever reason, when I did the passenger side and I was hiding the wires, I did have a little bit of a struggle in the left corner when I was hiding the wires. So just to give you guys a heads up, for whatever reason, that side seems to be a little tighter than the driver's side. We're going to go ahead and hide the wires and set the passenger side up. Now that we have both sides done, it's time for us to begin wiping down the surface where we're going to place the 3M tape. Now that I've removed the 3M tape, I'm going to go ahead and begin the fitting. The fitting is now complete on the driver's side. We're going to go ahead and get on the passenger side. Now we're all set. It looks a little bit crooked, but it's actually straight. Now that we're done placing the LED strips on the driver and passenger, we're going to go ahead and move to the back and begin cutting off the cloth that goes under the seat. By cutting the cloth, it's going to allow us to go ahead and place the LED strips under the seat. Before, we wouldn't be able to reach it because the cloth was taking up too much space at the bottom. But now that the cloth has been cut, we are able to go ahead and place the LED strips. Also take note, these specific zip ties, they're so small that you should be able to put them through the small hole at the end of the LED strip light. I should also mention that placing the LED strip lights in the back, under the back seats, was actually the hardest part of this whole installment. We're going to begin by placing the screw back inside where the cup holders are. Once that's done, we can go ahead and place the 2 screws right in the center. We can organize the wires under the cloth. Once you place the cloth over, it won't look as messy. It'll look pretty organized. Now we go ahead and place the last screw, which is right by the e-brake. And we're all set. Just make sure everything's back in place and nothing's loose. On this last part here, I'm going to show you guys the end result in terms of how the wiring looks. As you can see, you don't really see the wires as much. The intent with this specific install was to make the wires as invisible as possible because I'm pretty OCD about it and I don't want to be seeing wires. I'll also say as a disclaimer, this is the first time I install LED lights. The procedure that you guys just saw isn't something that I watched anywhere. This is something that I started to innovate as I was attempting to install the lights. The install itself, considering I didn't know what I was doing, took about 4 hours to complete. Of course, if I was to do it all over again, I'm sure it would take me a lot less time. Maybe 20-30 minutes now that I've got the whole thing figured out. Once again, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay safe.
Como los militares, preso en la federal esperando el transfer para la estatal, esperando la